Hello, hello, everybody. This is Demetrius Curry coming to you with Financially Fit Friday, brought to you by W Square AV Talk. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We are about to go live here on Facebook, and now we are live officially on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for being here with us for yet another episode of trying to make sure that our finances are getting where they need to be, right? One of the things that we did when we first brought about Financially Fit Fridays is that we wanted to make sure that we were able to meet the audience where they were in their finances, talking about things like how to get your personal credit lined up, how to get ready for your business to be established and to get more types of income and get established there. Today, we are talking with the credit goddess. Hello, I'm so excited that she's here with us today. Oh, this is about to be so fun. I had a chance to meet Ms. Rose a couple of years ago when we first started looking at what was it? It was the Clubhouse. We was working on the Clubhouse at that time, and we were so ecstatic about what we're getting ready to do and talking to people about their businesses. And so we had the opportunity to meet her on Clubhouse a few years ago in the very heart of COVID. And so we have been trying to do something together for quite a while now. So I'm so excited that she is here with us today, and I'm going to bring her on board. But once I do that, guys, listen to her. Get these copious notes that she's going to be giving us some really great nuggets on what you need to do to start getting your business credit up and running and getting established. And then also, guys, keep in mind that she is going to be one of our wonderful business partners and collaborating partners with the Hidden Money course. So if you are enrolled in the Hidden Money course coming up, you are in for a treat. You are in for a treat because this lady is amazing and very sought after in helping in the business credit building field. So let me just stop where I am and just bring her on. Miss Rose, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. I
Awesome.
hear you
Awesome.
just fine.
You know
I'm
what?
so glad that you're here with us today. Huh?
I decided to go on Facebook because I did not know my login to Instagram.
Ah,
So
you're
I'm on
fine.
Facebook.
You're fine. You're
Everything's
live
good.
right now, so you're good. Hey, so I'm glad that you're actually here with us, and we had a chance to really get to talk to everybody and meet everybody through Clubhouse, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so how wonderful is that we got a chance to meet each other that time, and we both been like, you know what? I need you on my platform. No, I need you on my platform.
We've been going back and forth like we need to be in each other's platform so we can help the community. Yes. For
Exactly. And so
sure.
I'm so excited that you're here with us. So let's go ahead and jump right in, right?
Yes.
You get a lot of clients that come to you more so that's trying to get ready to build business,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
talk to me about your current audience as far as those people that you're working with right now that's trying to build not only their personal credit, but get to the business credit is what they're trying to do.
Mhm. Yes, my current clients, a lot of, since the pandemic, this was a great opportunity for you to actually start businesses. And we've gotten, business owners that were tapping into the PPP and the EIDL. So, it was time to get really serious because what the documentations that they were looking for, they want to really know that you were really in business. So
Right.
that's when, entrepreneurship was on the rise. So most of my clients are real estate investors. Most of them are real estate investors, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good industry to get into. So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, there's a lot of things that need to be in place
Right.
before we start tapping into funding. And you already know this, Demetrius. So yeah, I would say real estate investing is on the rise.
Well, this is the thing though. Okay, so you and I know.
Yeah.
You and I know quite a bit about what need to be done as far as getting yourself together with business credit, how to make sure you look attractive to the lenders. That's where I come in at as of 30 years as a lending broker and officer. And I know that there are some out there that don't have the experience that you and I have. So let's talk about let's talk about the 3 C's. You look good. You're fine. I see your phone. You getting
No, my phone fell. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Let's talk about the 3 C's, right? Of
Yes.
getting yourself ready for business credit, which is what you and I really harp on quite a bit when we're talking with our clients. But for those people that are just getting started, what would you tell them that they need to be looking out for, right? To go ahead and get ready for business credit.
Oh, I'm glad that you mentioned the 3 C's of credit, because the 3 C's of credit is so important. And to help those that are looking to get into business credit, I want you guys to understand that. And I like to use things in analogy, so definitely follow me here. Okay. So the 3 C's of credit, well, there's actually 5, but we're going to talk about the main 3.
Right.
We have to start working with our personal credit. And I'm going to use this analogy. So say, for instance, on a personal side, you know how you guys have, that family member that don't have good credit, right? And they want to purchase a vehicle. They have a job. They don't have good personal credit. So guess who they're seeking? Someone with good credit to co-sign for the vehicle, because they need someone that is credible, right, to access the funding, someone that they can trust, because the person that does not have good credit or may have bad credit needs someone that is reliable. When we're talking about credit, we're talking about building credibility, right? So that's the foundation of everything, is your personal credit. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. So so if you guys really want to get into the game of business credit, get your personal credit together. That is the first C of credit, right? Now, that is one bargaining chip. The second bargaining chip is cash flow, capital. Okay. Those 2 things. Cash flow, if your business is driving revenue, that is credibility in itself, because if we're thinking about it, credit is just an offset of your payment, right? You're asking, let me get this item right now and let me owe you back later. So if you have cash flow, that is one C of credit that you can actually lean on to get the funding that you need right now. So if your business does not have capital, it doesn't have collateral, or it doesn't have cash flow, then we will have to go based on your personal credit and your personal income.
Right.
Okay? Because we have to see how you're able to pay those debts back, or how you're going to pay whatever you're borrowing, how you're going to finance back. So they need some type of income, cash flow, capital, one of those 2 things. The third C of of credit is collateral. If you have a home, and I remember we had this conversation, Demetrius. You remember you were breaking down key man policy, right? Okay. See, once we start understanding the financial literacy, and we understanding all of the different bargaining chips, then we will understand why we need to tap into life insurance, 401k, key man policy. That's another bargaining chip of some type of value. Because if we think about it, if you were a lender and you were lending money to someone, you want to be able to know that they're going to pay you back. And if they're not going to pay you back, you need to actually hold something of value to make up for the loss. Okay. Point blank here. Let's not make it complicated. Okay. So those are your 3 bargaining chips. You being a man and a woman of your word.
Right.
And that's being on your financial resume. You need to display that you know how to manage debt. Okay. So tap into the game. Secondly, once you start having your good personal credit, you start opening up opportunities to then tap into purchasing a home, being able to purchase a vehicle, get into business. Right now, you're building up your asset. Then we're tapping into collateral. Right, that's the levels of C's of credit. But we're not going to talk about the other 2. But I want you guys to hone in on the 3: personal credit, capital, collateral. Those 3.
Yes. And we can talk about this all day, but
right.
But let's just say that you have great personal credit. Okay, let's say that you've actually done good by making your payments on time. You're not too far over your 20% utilization. You're doing pretty good in there. Let's just say that you're not, no collection items, no bankruptcies to sort of recover from. Let's just say that you've been doing pretty good. But your collateral is not there. Okay. And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you're trying to, let's say you're trying to get a line of credit, right? Possibly something like that, but you don't have anything else besides your personal credit to fall behind. Some of the things they're going to look at is not only just your personal credit, but they're going to, now if you don't have collateral, then they want to know what else do you have to bring to the table that they can lean on, right?
Right.
To say, hey, I trust that you can do this. That this is your first time in this arena,
Right.
doing what you're trying to do. Or
Mhm.
even if you've done it one or two times, but you just don't have the experience, right, to back it. That happens a lot too,
It does.
right?
It,
So it's important that we talk about the capital, having that extra cash flow put away. They look at that you have some extra capital you may not have, collateral. However, you do have some good income put to the, maybe you got some retirement you've put to the side somewhere, that kind
mhm.
of thing. And it shows them that you are a little diligent about keeping up with your finances, right?
Yep.
Diligent in keeping up with your finances. So that's a really good point in those three C's of what they need to be looking out for. For the new business owner, let's say that they're somewhat established, have their business for the last 12 months, and they're attempting to build some type of collateral. They want to buy real estate,
Mhm.
because you and I both deal a lot in the real estate game.
Yes.
They want to buy real estate, right? How important is it for them, even though it's in a business name, how important is it for them to actually have some form of business credit when they're trying to buy real estate?
It's very, very, very important that they establish business credibility, especially when they're getting into real estate, because now you have opened up more funding opportunity when you do. Because like you mentioned, like what if they don't have any collateral, right? And when you're tapping into business credit, of course, opening up opportunities for you to tap into other funding options to the
Mhm.
point where you can now build up to uh, um, um, build up the collateral or build up the assets. Because if you get into real estate investing, of course, you're accumulating assets. And
Right.
that asset in itself is going to increase your value, right? It's going to increase your net worth, where now you'll be able to leverage that, not just on your personal, not just on your capital, but now you can bring asset to the table as well.
Yeah.
You guys seen this before where they ask you when you're borrowing money, they ask you, do you have insurance? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a home? The reason why they're asking you is not because they want to be all up in your business. It's just that they want to see what bargaining chips you're bringing to the table.
Exactly.
What can you leverage? So
Exactly. Leverage. That's been my
leverage.
word this week.
Yeah, leverage.
Is telling people, hey, to leverage those things that you have in your favor when you are coming to a business deal. When we are walking into a boardroom
Mm-hmm.
and we are sitting down with the closing attorney and the agents and so forth and so on, they want to know that everything is already taken care of and you've leveraged, right? Everything
Yeah.
that you can bring to this deal, because the lender feels comfortable that they can lend you 200, 300 million dollars
Under your
or
business.
under your business
Under your business.
name,
Yeah.
because other things that you have been diligent on, including
Mm-hmm.
your personal credit,
Including your personal credit. Yeah,
including your personal credit.
that's a
That's the
lot
big
of
thing.
leverage.
And what I want people to understand is that even though your personal credit is not tied to your business, they use your personal credit to determine your interest rate. And
Mm-hmm.
so that actually helps them in determining the interest rate. But even if they put the business underneath the business name, right? And that helps tremendously. So I usually tell people, I say, hey, if you're doing partnerships or you're doing collaboration deals or things like that, or someone's going to be a guarantor under your particular business deal, whatever the deal is, whether it's secured or unsecured,
Mm-hmm.
leverage the relationship, right?
The relationship. I like that
Relation.
you mentioned relationships. And that's another thing that I want people to hone in on is that when you guys are building credibility, you're building credibility within those relationships. You know how you build relationships on a personal level? You're now building relationships on the business level. So you
Yes.
want to make sure that you are that the banks that you're doing business with extend that extend the relationship and tap into their loan products and their credit card their credit products. Because now once they understand how you're moving, and especially if you're dealing with like small banks, community banks, credit unions locally, they want to lend to you, right? But we have to focus on building the credibility. Let's not tap into credit when we need it. Be in position for it. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Oh, I'm about to say the same thing. You took the words out of
It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. A lot of us move in desperate measures, like I need this right now, but you have not taken the time to build the relationship. And that's what's important. Yeah.
Yes. And that's what we find ourselves doing, is that we get into a crunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find something that we really love. Oh, I want to get that property. Or, oh, I want to get that truck for my business. Or I need a food truck for my business. Or,
right.
Oh, I need to update my motor in my vehicle, my CDC license and all this,
mm-hmm.
CDLs,
and
all these things that we need right then and there, emergencies that come up in our business.
Yep.
So let me tell you, there are so many, with clients that I work with on a day-to-day basis, that sometimes it's not even just real estate. Sometimes it is, I am in a crunch. I need to make sure my staff is still paid.
That staff.
Yes.
Yes.
I need to make sure that I'm able to still keep them on payroll through COVID, through all kinds of stuff that's going on in the economy. The people that normally pays me for my monthly service is running behind on their payrolls to me. You understand what I'm saying? For instance, like, let's just say that you are a medical office. When you're in medical office, you have those receivables that come into you on a month-to-month basis based off of what you're doing in the community, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and all this other stuff. If you have this money waiting, I mean, you basically got payroll just waiting. It's coming, but it may be 30 to 45 days out. Okay, well, expenses are still happening every 30 days, right?
Yes.
All right. And I'm telling you this scenario because I've had one of my doctors go through this, right? Where she wanted to make sure that she was still able to pay her staff and to pay her lease on her building and to pay this and to pay that. And those things are falling behind and affects them. This is why you need things like business credit working in your favor to be able to handle those in between interim situations where your business still has to flow, right? And so that's what we're talking about there, as far as not waiting until you get into that crunch. To build the relationship now with those said credit unions, with those said lenders that you have, conversations with, to start working on collaborative deals. You and I have a collaboration deal. You see what I'm saying? That work on those collaboration deals where you tap into where one person is strong and the other person may be weak. You see what I'm saying? And then you bring that together. You bring that together as like a marriage. You bring that together where you both have some attributes to bring to the table. And then it makes it even sweeter whenever you get ready to do a deal. You understand what I'm saying, Rose?
Totally understand. I had this conversation with my community the other day when I said, don't ever feel that you're inadequate. What you mentioned, strengths and weaknesses. We need to hone in on our strengths, and we need to identify someone else's weakness and then be that person's strength and their weakness. And that's how we can partner together. A lot of times we have this imposter syndrome where we feel as though that, okay, this person is better than me, or this person is more experienced than me. You'll be surprised how many people at the higher position, and when you just know a little bit of something, let's say social media, and someone that has that's in that high position don't know anything about social media, right? And you come in with your expertise. Do you know how excited they get? Like, oh my gosh, I need you on my team, and now you feel like this is important for me to help this person that, has a big influence in the community need me. Yeah, because you're that's your strength. So if we identify our strength and then we come into a space of serving, because
Yes.
I think that's another thing. A lot of people get into the bag. Okay, but on the other side of the bag is people. Okay,
There you
so
go.
you're serving people. If you identify the problem, provide a solution to the people, you get the bag anyway.
It's gonna come.
It's gonna come anyway. So I like that you mentioned that, because if we really want to get back into this and I've been hearing people screaming like support Black businesses, this is how you support, right? This is how you support. You support them in any way that you can. I wish we can talk more about like how business work and the importance of sharing information.
We'll do that. We will do that in the course, because
Okay.
remember, we you and I are together on the Hidden Money course anyway. For all those ladies that have not registered yet, get on it. Because that's one of the things that we're going to have to just add more to in that course, about the collaboration of making sure that you're able to zone in on those things. If you're trying to build an empire, remember that when you're building an empire, you can't do it by yourself. There are so many hands into building an empire. I just had this same conversation with a good girlfriend of mine that's going to be on the show in the next week or two. I was just talking to her about knowing when to zone in and when to get other people around you to do other things, right? That's what we're talking about. And in that, you can actually do that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, Rose, I mean, it is amazing. I see your phone.
Someone said it froze, so I had to end the live. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Look, we get it all the time. I usually put my phone to the side right here. So, because as people I go back in and answer their questions as they're going. But this is the thing. It's really important for us as women, and not just women, but especially minority women, that you understand that we're not competing against one another. We are here to actually feed into each other and to help get you to the next level, whatever that level is, whatever your desire is, wherever your heart desire is. If you express that you need to know more about personal credit, you need to know more about business credit, you need to know about, creating a legacy, you need to know about, getting your portfolio to look nice, all these different things that you're trying to do. There are resources for people like myself and you that are willing to help service and feed that into them, which is why we came up with Financial Fit Fridays from the first place, is to give more detail, get some free tidbits. See, this will be a 15-minute segment. See, Rose, you see, I told you was going to do this to me.
I was like, 15 minutes? That's not
that this is supposed to be a 15-minute segment, and whenever we get real good, we just start going in, juices get high. But definitely, I want to make sure that if you guys have not gotten on with us with the Hidden Money course, Miss Rose is gonna be doing some stuff with us on this business credit. We're so excited, and I'm working with her on her platforms as well. We're gonna do some announcements in the future of what we got coming up with that. But I'm so glad that you were here to give us those tidbits, Rose, about the personal credit, capital, collateral, just the 3 out of the 5. We didn't even go all the way into, because this could be a very long segment.
Yeah, I know. Let's focus on the 3.
Let's just focus on the top 3.
We need to be making money in our business, guys. We need to focus on making money in the business. And if you're going to tap into funding, I need you guys to focus and put the money where it's going to produce 2x, 3x, 10x. Because once you increase your cash flow and your revenue, you just open up additional opportunities to get more funding, because not only do you have personal credit, not only do you have business credit, now you have revenue, and those 3 recipes can get you up to corporate credit.
Yeah, you go.
Listen.
There you go.
And when you're on a corporate level, you can now extend credit to your other businesses.
There you go. Your business can loan to the other business.
Because the way we're doing it right now is not the way to do it. Like we shouldn't be commingling funds and all that good stuff. And that's another conversation.
That's another conversation. I had that conversation 6 months with another business partner. I told him, I said, I don't commingle money. That's just outside of what I do. We don't commingle money. Everything must operate in the way it needs to operate. And if one thing is leaning on the other, then that one is not being sufficient, and it's gonna cause this one to go broke. So we're gonna have to. There you go.
Yes. But you know what? But this is something that they need to know, because this is what we do on our personal life. This is how we personally manage our money, where we just commingle, like we just, putting our monies all over the place. But when it comes to actually showing what we've made, we don't even know where the money went, because we're not properly documenting, because it's all over the place. We're moving money like consumers would. But when you're in business, it has to be in order. It has to be properly structured, properly managed.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say this, another thing: get your budget together. If you don't know how to budget,
we're gonna end up talking. This is gonna be a part 2. I believe we're gonna have to come back on a part 2. Rose, we're going to come back on a part 2. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Guys, I'm telling you, make sure that you are connecting with Rose as well. Rose, if you would, please tell us how they can connect with you outside of just being with me in the Hidden Money course. Hello. What else can they do to follow you? I know that you're really, really big in the Clubhouse space, but what other areas would you like for them to connect with you?
Okay, so first off, if you guys are on Clubhouse, you guys can find me. I am in the Clubhouse streets educating the folks. I have about 29,000 followers. They love what I talk about. So if you guys want to hear this good message, this good credit talk, definitely meet me on Clubhouse. It is Credit Goddess, as you see here, Credit Goddess Rose Allure Lewis. Find that, follow me there. I do have a house, so I give information there, resources and things like that. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a club, or I say a group, called Cream Society, which stands for Credit Rules Everything Around Me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Okay, so we're not just talking about credit, but I'm teaching people how to be credible people. Because once we become credible people, where we're reliable, where we're trustworthy, and the things that we say is what it is.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is, and people are not doubting that is not going to come into fruition. We need to start speaking life into the things that we put out there, and cut the excuses, because that is affecting our vibration. Okay, so let's be credible people, right? So we can start trusting people around us, but it starts with you. And then we also talk about financial literacy and all that good stuff. And then I also have 2 groups. I have one for men and one for women. It's Black women get funded too, and Black men get funded too. What Demetrius alluded earlier, we need to know how to get in position for funding. When they did the stats, American Express did a stats, and they ran stats from like 2007 to 2018. Entrepreneurship in our community have grown over 150 some percent.
Yeah.
Okay. And 54% of it is Black women.
Right.
But out of the Black women, 1.4% of them are getting funded. Why is that so low?
Very low.
Why?
Which is why we created the Hidden Money course, because I wanted women to understand about putting money in the bag, not just on the bag. And that's why our tagline is because we have a tendency, even though we have the business, we don't know about the extra resources that we could be tapping into to get those grants, to get those scholarships, to get those, government contracts, to get all those things, right, that we need to be getting our hands on.
Let me tell you, did y'all know government contracting, they have money allotted for Black-owned, Black-owned businesses? Yes. You would get the money before the white man. Let me tell y'all that. If it's Black-owned by a woman, you would get the bids first in line. Wow. We are not in the room. We are not in these rooms. We're not in rooms. We don't show up.
And not in these conversations, in these conversations. And I'm, well, you already know this. I'm very huge on being in the room, just to be a fly on the wall. Say hi, say that one more time, so I can hear what needs to be done to help our community get better. Right.
Yeah.
So Fantastic.
I'm listening to the community as well. That's the reason why that's why we click, because we really, really, really want to help the people. I mean,
Yes.
when people say that we don't come back for them, we don't come back to the community. Yes, we do. Y'all just don't show up. That's all.
And listen, and when you show up, I need to make sure you're doing the call to action that I gave you.
That part. Because you're robbing us from our testimonies.
That's gonna be a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Rose, I told you now. Guys, if you are not connected with Rose, I'm telling you, we just put all of her information inside the comments as well, as far as how you can find her on Clubhouse. Also connect with me if you have not already at Instagram, Demetrius_Curry, where we talk about how to get you looking good for the lenders. And as a lending broker for nearly 30 years, it is my responsibility to negotiate with those lenders, hard money, direct lenders, all kinds of lenders that we have out there, credit bureaus, you name it. We talk to all of them in your behalf to try to make sure you look good for the lender and get you funded, walk you from part one to the closing table is what our team does. So if you have not connected with us, make sure you do so at Demetrius_Curry on Instagram, and also find us at Inspired for Greatness LLC on Facebook. That's our lending page. So make sure that you are there with us, and we do share some tidbits, and we walk through some of our construction sites and everything and talk to you about DSCR loans and how to get, hey, don't get started. You can see, I told you, as soon as I said DSCR, you're going to get excited. We're going to talk about how to get properties in your business name, how to get your structure right, your formations, make sure that you're looking really nice and neat, even making sure your bank accounts look right. We even talk to you about what you need to make sure your bank accounts look right. So all of that is part of what we do to make sure you get to the closing table. And then once you get to the closing table, that's just a preliminary part. What do you do after you get the property? How do you keep your cash flows looking good? How do you make sure you got your landlord forms in place? All those different things that our team actually does. So we are excited. We are honored. We are thankful that we have business partners like Miss Rose, the credit goddess, to be here with us to make sure we help them on the front end as we make sure they get to the back end, right? So we appreciate you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
And I told you it's going to be a 15-minute segment. Don't start no mess. Don't start no mess.
15 minutes over. But you know what? If you love what you do and you're knowledgeable in it, it's just hard to stop talking about it.
I know it. And I get excited. We get excited about this thing. So and I'm so that glad for everything that you're doing. Congratulations on all your achievements that you've been doing.
Thank you.
And even being asked and requested to teach financial literacy to some of the interns and students down there in Florida. I was so excited to hear about that. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
On
Thank
that
you.
as well. So I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Guys, this has been yet another wonderful segment of Financially Fit Fridays with W2AB Talk. We went over a little bit, but I'm telling you, I'm really thankful that we have the opportunity to work with women just like Miss Rose and several of the ladies and gentlemen that comes on board here with us to see what we can do to help you and to help others get to the next level or where they're trying to get to. So we are so thankful for you. We want you to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and just look forward to the next segment. The next segment that we're going to do is going to actually be a little bit more on the entrepreneur side, talking to people about their entrepreneurship and what they can and cannot do going into this next year. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being here with us. All right, we'll see you guys on the next Financially Fit Friday. This is Demetrius Curry. Talk to you soon.